Hello and welcome back to the 45th anniversary celebration of Yamaha synthesizers here from Hamamatsu, Japan and Innovation Road. And this is the part of our tour that I've been looking forward to the most, almost. Well, no, probably the most. Because these are the gentlemen that have changed the lives of many people and enhanced their music. Because these are the developers that I've come to know over the years. They're just amazing people. So I'll go ahead and introduce. This is Toshi Kunimoto. Toshi Kunimoto has been an engineer for quite some time for Yamaha. Worked on lots of things, including the VL1, the EX5, also in professional audio, things like the Reface console, of course, VCM technology. This is what Mr. Kunimoto here has done. Next to Toshi is Yuji Yamada, yes? Yuji is responsible for the Reface line and the design of the CP, another just brilliant young, kind of the amazing young guy in the group here. He's, and then of course, Shinichi Ohta. Shinichi came into with the Motif XS, Motif XF, and then of course, Montage. So we are going to have a little conversation about each of these gentlemen and some of the things they've done over their careers at Yamaha. I think we'll start here with Toshi. And I don't need to hold this, but you need to hold this. So let's start with, when did you start with Yamaha? That would be a good thing. What year did you join Yamaha?
It was 1982.
82.
I joined Yamaha.
And your background is electrical engineering, or you studied
many
in
things: electrical engineering and software engineering.
software engineering?
Digital signal processing also
Right.
included.
So what was your first product that you did for Yamaha?
First
You worked on?
Honestly saying, first product was Electron.
Oh, Electron,
Electric
yeah.
organ we made on the 1987 or something like that.
Okay. So then you kind of, we'll fast forward here to where, you know, we got VL. And so VL was something that you worked a little bit with the Stanford University people, because we had the relationship with FM.
In those days, we have established a very good relationship with the Stanford University Karma Computer Music
Right.
Laboratory, because of we have released DX7 and the successors a lot during the 80s. So we moved to the next collaboration with the Stanford University, and also we have a necessity or demands of the new synthesis technology.
Right.
It was happened around the 1987. So we started the project of the new synthesis technology for the synthesizer. Then we came up with the idea of the musical instrument physical modeling.
Right.
That was a starting point.
Yeah, very impressive. That's one of my favorite things. And I know that Dom is interested in this part, because VCM also was sort of developed in, you know, from this same sort of headspace, yes? So
it's a very interesting transition for me as well, because basically you took this concept from the synthesizers and you went to physical modeling of, you know, like audio equipment and EQs, compressors, all these things. So is it the same technology, or is it something that's completely different when it comes to modeling pieces of equipment like this?
So first of all, we came up with the idea of the physical modeling of the many things, various things. At the start for the development of the VL1, mean that we developed virtual acoustic technology, virtual acoustic synthesizing technology first, then moved to the virtual circuitry modeling for the pro audio gears, but the philosophy is the same, concept is the same, what idea is the same, you know.
Wow. And then of course we have now the VCM filter on the new operating system, like Montage. It's like,
yeah, same kind of.
It's so incredible. I mean, huge respect, because this filter is like so creamy and it sounds like I'm playing a real analog filter there. It's really amazing. So yeah, the silk on the new XR from Steinberg, this is also like, you can't believe how close it comes to the real thing. So it's incredible.
Yeah, and you also worked on Reface. too, and work with Rupert Neve and this stuff with Silk. And,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, big brain. One of the kind of people that when you talk to him, you realize that you'll never be as smart as Kunimoto-san. But same, I would say about both of you guys. But so Ohta now, we'll move on to him. So now we'll move forward here to maybe Motif XS. So one of the things that I like to point out, we just did a podcast. Nate and I did a podcast with the whole Motif line, and we were doing the Motif and then Motif ES, both 4-element. And then a big change happens with the XS, with expanded articulation, and a change over to more of a Linux-based system. That's where you sort of entered the picture with Montage, or with Motif, correct? Motif XS, you started with that, yes?
Yes.
And
but I start to work Motif XF as a programmer
Right.
of synthesizer operating system.
And you, when did you start with Yamaha? When did you?
1988.
88,
Yeah.
so a little after Toshi, yeah?
Yes.
Both electrical engineer and software engineer, kind of, is that your background?
When I were university, I was studying controlling robot.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
really?
by software.
Yeah, a robot.
Yeah, robot.
Oh, the deadly robot. Cool. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that Yamaha actually does make industrial robots too, which is kind of cool. But because we got to build stuff, right? So you started there, and then you got. But you're also, so you got into music, obviously, somehow, and music development. Did that happen when you came to Yamaha, or did you? Do you play? You play keyboards a little bit? I would think so.
Yeah. I play keyboard.
Yeah.
As usual, as a hobby.
Right, but it's cool that you get to do this music stuff as well. So you did, and then Montage. So, can you talk a little bit about the idea of moving from Motif to Montage? What were the things that you were trying to get? Because control obviously is a big one. Much larger waveform, and then bringing back FM. Can you kind of the idea behind that a little bit?
At that time, Motif series were about over 10 years old, and DAW was popular in music production. So we came to think that next new generation synthesizer was necessary.
Yeah.
We started to focus on sound controllability. So that came to be Montage with motion control.
Right. Yeah, it's such a great. I try to explain this with Motif. We only had 6 control sets total.
Yes.
And in the voice area, and then if you put 4, but it's still only 6 in performance, I think, as well. I think, or maybe it's 6 per part. Either way, 16 per part, and so much more control, and so much more deep control of not just common MIDI controller parameters, but direct parameter control of things that go well beyond just MIDI. That's what's so, to me, the amazing thing about Montage, and it keeps
growing.
It keeps evolving. We keep talking all the time. It's like, I just found something cool. Exactly. We still keep finding new things to do with it. It's
very interesting because Ohta-san just mentioned about the rise of the DAW and how things had to adapt to this.
Right.
And I just find that this is exactly what you're doing. So basically, the whole concept of the Montage is just about like real time. What can I do that I can't do inside the computer? And that's what I'm saying to people. Is like you can't do this very easily in a DAW. You'd have to have like maybe 12 plugins to just have the same effect that the Supernob has on a sound.
Right.
And now, with stuff like the extended LFO, we were talking with Blake on how you can recreate stuff like analog drifting of the oscillators. And these are all things that you come up with, and you're focusing more on the synthesis with the Montage feel. Is it the philosophy you're going for right now?
Maybe. It depend. It comes from DAW automation.
Okay.
I came up with motion control with DAW automation.
Okay.
Yeah, that's something that
That's
we've
very-
talked about. I remember, actually, that's what Andreas and I talk about this all the time. The automation. It's such that is such a important aspect of it. The other thing is the flexibility of adding new technology that you have with Linux. It's a little bit easier to grow it. So it's a platform-based synthesizer. It can be modified and added to and improved upon. And this, especially with OS3, it really does. Things like thinking, would it be great keyboard control in scenes is so much more powerful than I think at first I really recognized until I started, this is great to be able to have that flexibility. So it's great. I didn't forget about you. So, because we should probably move to Yuji. So Yuji, now, tell me if I'm right about the story behind Reface. It was guys after work maybe getting together and talking over a couple beers maybe and saying, here's what we should do. Just a couple. It's okay. So, or it's something like this though. It was getting together and that's true, yes?
Yes.
That's cool. So why don't you, the inspiration behind Reface?
Behind. So actually, we mean with the actually. So Reface series started out as you know as side project
Right.
with two other engineers.
Yeah.
So, but we are not players.
Right.
But we made instruments to have a fun for tweaking sound.
Yeah.
So every day we were discussing what the Reface should be.
Right.
So
I love this.
yeah,
This is what's
yeah.
cool.
So the concept is very simple. We made instruments to casually tweak the sound anytime, any place.
Right.
So to achieve it, we made many prototypes with many ideas.
Right.
So, for example, this is one of playable prototype for. This is YC series.
Yeah.
So this playable prototype has many ideas. For example, this drawbar lights up in green when you play.
Oh.
So, or this rotary switches also lights up.
So this one does rather, it lights up and.
Yeah. But just
Right.
prototype.
Right.
But as you can see, the design itself is different from product version. Actually, there are a couple of design candidates for Reface series. This is one of design series. So we are discussing the.
And I love the nod back to the previous, to the YC. Like when you look, we have the display over here that shows sort of the inspiration for each in some ways. There's like.
Yeah, but as I mentioned earlier, so we are not player.
Right.
But we love the synthesis.
Yeah.
So organ is one of the synthesizers, so additive
Additive
synthesis.
Right.
We love that behavior
Right.
of the sound. So we chose the YC concept.
Yeah.
So we made it.
What I find extremely interesting with all of the refaces is that, you can use them completely traditionally, like, their predecessors or the units that they were inspired from. But then, for example, with something like the YC, you can create completely different sounds, like very modern sounds. For example, if you just mute all the drawbars and you just leave the, the percussion noise, it gives you like this very modern kind of plucky, synth sound. Was this intentional? Were you, did you want to go and do this and basically have a more versatile instrument, because they are?
Okay. So your point about sound?
Yeah,
itself?
was it that you were going for something that you could basically create new sounds? Or,
At that point,
yeah,
creating new sound at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I find when I play all the Refaces. That they are inspired, but they do also something.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And just the way that you can now use, like on the CP, it's a CP, right? It's Rhodes and things, but then the delay
Yeah.
changes everything. You can do more, and it's what I do with the new CP, the CP88. This is my whole thing. Now with the new sounds we've added, I have it all set up because I have to go back and show this with the new sounds, and I have my delay with the new sound. The new sounds are so good that they give me another creative thing to do with CP, and I love that. So it's the hands-on, it's the real-time control that people were searching for, and I think you brought it back, and then you expand it even further. And I have a sense that going forward, this is going to be a design element, which is awesome. Speaking of other design elements, I know that VCM, you're still developing VCM technology, yes?
Yeah, my team constantly looking for the new area we can apply the technology or concept of the virtual things.
Right.
So the VCM, once we applied this idea onto the Pro Audio digital mixing consoles,
Right.
Right now we are more focused on to the musical instruments again.
Really? So you're focusing a little bit more on musical instruments again? You heard that, right? So that's a good thing. That's amazing. So we don't know anything, but we know that this is where the future is going with Toshi here is maybe some more development in VCM. Guess you'll have to wait and see. So I think this is great. I think we have a lot of great information here, and it's truly an honor to be around all three of you guys. You inspire people. I don't think a lot of times I know that you're here and just programming and fixing things, but you don't realize that the amount of lives that you have changed and made better by doing what you do. It's really true. And I think I thank you for what you do. I know lots of people thank you for what you do, but it's just, again, it's an honor to be with you guys. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So once again, this is Shinichi Ohta, Yuji Yamada, and Toshi Kunimoto, our brilliant developers from Yamaha Japan. Thank you so much for watching here, 45th anniversary Yamaha synthesizers from Innovation Road. Keep watching, more to come.